Good morning, LKN. Happy Friday. Justin Ckezepis. Bill's on the sticks. It's our first Food Friday. We're doing it. There's too many good restaurants out there. There's too many great food vendors out there. Friday's the day. Look, you go out Friday night, you want a good place to go. But you also need a good place to go for breakfast during the week, on the weekend. And so Rise Cafe of Huntersville is going to join us. Titus and Christina Bartolotta. Titus probably won't be here because the guy's got to work. Somebody's got to run the place. Christina's going to come in, though, so she should be here at about 7:30. We're excited. And I can't act like it was just me who got Rise Cafe. Joe Vagnone, host of Local Biz Now, which airs Mondays from 4 to 5 p.m., has a great relationship with Titus and Christina, said, hey, let's talk breakfast. And so I scooped in and said, hey, it's breakfast. Good morning, LKN. Why don't you come in here? And I scooped it from Joe. I did that. So appreciate it, Joe. It's Friday, July 14th. Log it. Captain's log. July 14th, 7:07 a.m. Are you getting ready for work still, or did you make it out the door? Are you in the car? How behind are you right now? Maybe you're feeling good. Maybe you're ahead. It's a little earlier than normal. I'm making it down the highway pretty good right now. That sun looking like it's going to be shining today. It's going to be another 96 day today. What do you think? We're at about, what, 70, 71 right now already? Just a little sticky out. It's just a little sticky out right now, but we're going to get that sunshine. We're going to get that sunshine. I think it's going to be a beautiful weekend. How about you, Bill?
I'm ready for it.
What you got on deck for the weekend? You guys traveling, doing anything? What you got going on?
Should be pretty low key. Have a friend coming into town. Look forward to showing off the digs and exploring what this great state has to offer.
Now, when you say you got a friend coming in town, are they staying with you?
Yes.
Okay. So what's that process like in y'all's house? Like as far as prepping, getting ready, or is it just, hey, they show up, we're ready to go at any time, anybody can come anytime they want?
That's how we usually are, right? We do have a guest bedroom. All right. Call in the station, 844 Studio 4.
Wait, are you taking applications for the guest bedroom right now? Is that what you just did?
Well, we need friends.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna talk. Well, okay, let me backtrack. On Monday, my significant other Grace, she made a delicious fish meal for us. It was wonderfully prepared. Everything was great.
Oh yeah.
But now my apartment smells like fish.
Like constant, like can't get it out?
Whenever I walk into the door after work, it's a wave.
What kind of fish? Do you know what kind of fish it was?
It's a cod. It was a cod. It was a cod.
So it's the cod that just will eat anything and just.
And I'm saying we've been trying everything. We've been baking since then.
Did she oven bake it?
No, it was on the skillet. It was.
Oh man!
Well, but she's done it before, and
yeah,
we've never had this residual effect. Yeah, but now it's becoming a thing.
Have the neighbors complained yet?
No, not yet, but I think we're both a little concerned what our friend is going to think.
Sure.
When she walks in, because, I mean, it's you can't ignore
it. You know what? There might be a workaround on this. So if you just run with it and just go straight beach theme, you know what I mean? Like throw up like a little like picture with some beach action on it and be like, hey, we've just gone full, coastal.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
because if you're at the coast, it just smells like fish all the time. So you're just bringing
Airbnb, a beach experience.
Yeah,
best of both worlds.
Where are the friends? Are they from Maryland, or where are the friends coming from?
They're actually coming from Sneed's Ferry.
Oh, so they're going to be right at home.
Right.
They're going to be.
She might not even know. That's our other thing that we have going.
So which way is the bet landing right now? That they're going to notice or not notice?
She's going to know.
Okay. There's just no. There's no hiding.
Nobody knows. They're going to know
whatsoever.
Yeah, they're going to know.
But so as far as friends coming over and staying, like, is there a point like you reach, and maybe not, everyone's different, like What's like the level of, hey, friends are coming, we're gonna let them stay with us versus, hey, y'all need to find your own place, but you can come over, like we'll hang out during the day. Like, does that ever become a consideration, or is that like depends on the class of friend?
Yeah, I mean, our doors are open, right? Our doors are open. That it's plain and simple. We're not going to make you. If you're going to take time out of your life to come visit me, we'll find a place for you to sleep.
Sure.
So it could be anywhere.
So Bill and Nat living their best life in Charlotte, leaving the doors unlocked, just free for all. Just come on in anytime you want.
Come on down.
That's the kind
right
of
down
life.
the street. If you're going to Luke Combs tonight, you need a place to park.
Ooh, a little Luke. You're gonna see it in the city. So you got a great spot in the city, and you guys get to see a lot of the action that goes on. Is there already some pre stuff kind of happening like last night at all, or what was going on with that? Anything at all?
We weren't walking around too much last night, but the city does have some free energy with all the people walking around. So it should be a fun weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. So, okay, so my question, I guess, is then at what point do you ever say no to someone that wants to come over? Like, yeah, you can come over and hang out, but if you're going to stay, you need to get your own place. 844 Studio 4. Some family members, maybe you got some family members that, like, they're welcome to stay. You guys are welcome to stay. But in the back of your mind, is it that, hey, they need to get a hotel?
Right.
And we've got friends like with multiple kids, and like when we love hanging out, like we used to do this whole thing where we'd bring them all into the house. We'd all stay together in the house. And then like at a point, like, hey, do you start saying, hey, you got like 15 kids now, man. Like I can't be just like letting 15 kids come up in here. You need to get your own place because at this point you pretty much need your own electric grid, and you're jacking up my power bill, and I just don't know if that's okay. The internet went out last time you guys came. The oven smelled like fish for 2 weeks. I can't deal with that anymore. And so how do you tell your family? How do you tell your friends like, hey, I want to hang out with you. I want to see you. Love seeing you. Love it. But you got to get your own place. Is that too mature? Am I too mature at this point to say like have that conversation? I don't even know how to start that conversation. It's almost awkward, right? Like, our cat tends to throw up in the middle of the night. You guys don't want to be here for that. Can I play that card? Emmy and Noah, they're regressing right now in their sleep pattern, and we just don't want to risk that. We really need to focus, and they go to bed early. So how do you tell somebody, 844 Studio 4, you got to deliver that bad news? And I'm not trying to kill the vibe on Friday. Not trying to kill the vibe on Friday, but how do you do it? How do you let them off easy? How do you tell your friend who you've known for 20 years?
It's just a difficult conversation.
It is. But it's one that becomes necessary because you eat my Cheetos every time you come over and you don't even offer to refill the bag.
It's a crucial conversation.
I'm just saying. At some point, real conversations have to happen. And that's what we like doing on this show. We have some of the most top-notch journalism possible. Look, I told you about. Did you listen to the scoreboard this week with Joe Berg? I told you he had the inside. He has the inside to the NBA. How he got the source, I don't know. But he's proved that the NBA draft is rigged. He did it this week on his show. We're going to hear from Joe later on. I got to follow up on it. It's breaking news. The whole thing's rigged. You're listening to Good Morning LKN, 844 Studio 4. What's on your mind today? It's Food Friday. We're having a good time here. Hope you are too. I love you, my kith. Good morning, LKN. Justin Ckezepis, 844 Studio 4. It's Food Friday. It's our first one. Christina Bartolotta of Rise Cafe going to be coming in soon. Her story's cool, too. Her and Titus, her husband Titus, they're go-getters in the community. Nonprofit, private businesses, entrepreneurship, they're all about it. And I'm excited to see and chat with her a bit. And we want to chat with you. 844 Studio 4. You got weekend plans. Maybe you had to have that tough conversation. Maybe you had to tell some friends that wanted to come over, like, hey, you got to get your own spot. You can come. We'll hang out with you during the day. But 8:30 hits, there's the door. Have a good night. Don't text me before 6. Don't show up here at 6:30. Don't you do it. I got to get my morning routine on. And so it's a question of maturity. It's a question of maturity. And it's sometimes it's hard to be mature. I struggle with that. Demi tells me that all the time. I need to get a little bit more mature in my life. Hey, found out from our top-notch journalist, my mother, that Luke Combs, we talked about, Bill, 2 p.m. the tailgate starts at Bank of America Stadium. And it's going to get a rowdy bunch down there. And so if you're going to be traveling through the Charlotte area tonight, be safe. Be safe. These are those type of events where when you go out, you got to have some wherewithal. You got to have some wherewithal when you're out. And so just be cautious. Now, unfortunately, you won't be able to listen to one of our news shows that's coming on that will be able to help you with some safety, Apache Solutions. Their show airs tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Tim Kelly, we had him on, I think it was earlier this week. Was it earlier this week? It was earlier this week we had Tim Kelly on. Yeah, a founder of Apache Solutions, him and Frank Horvath, our engineer. Apache Solutions is a firearms and safety training company, and they customize that training and that safety. It's not just about holding a gun. It's about being aware of your surroundings. And so their show is going to air for the first time 1 o'clock tomorrow. So if you're going to Luke Combs Saturday night, you definitely want to listen to that show before you go. Just to have some type of training and start your new journey. Your new journey. And then today, the rest of the lineup, because we wanted to spend the first couple of weeks educating you on the new lineup. This is going to be the easiest way for you to do it. For the easiest way for you to learn about the lineup is to go to our website, WSICnews.com. If you click radio shows at the top, that is our on-air weekday lineup. We're working on getting our weekend lineup posted up there. We do a lot on the weekend, though, too. We carry Charlotte FC. We've carried Panthers, and we're going to carry them this season. And right now, Cup Series. Bill, you gonna watch the who you got for the race this weekend? You got any favorites laid out? You between you and your dad, you guys got anything kind of laid out? Your mom and your dad. Who you got? Who's your dad's driver? I haven't asked you that. I've never asked.
Pops is actually in a different mode right now because he'll be traveling up to Akron, Ohio, because it is about that time of year for the Soapbox Derby World Championships. So shout out to the young nephew Baylor, who will be up there representing Denver in the house on the big stage.
Okay, you brought up Soapbox Derby, Bill. We've got to talk about it. This has been a long time coming. You've got to tell everyone about the controversy where your title was stripped from you unfairly many years ago.
We're going to have to dedicate an entire segment to this maybe next week because I would like to clear the air. I absolutely would. But in 2003, wow, 20 years ago, I won the Soapbox Derby World Championships outright.
Definitively.
And due to some circumstances that were out of our control, like I said, we can dive into this later. I need to prepare these
No,
My
we're
thoughts.
gonna get into this next week. We're gonna have to. It's too deep of a story to just brush over
Right,
because there's a lot to it.
right. It is layered. Deserves its own little Netflix or Sports Center documentary or whatever. Um, yeah. So I won outright, and just as a teaser, I won't even get into the details, but they claimed that they could smell epoxy in my rear axle, and after I had already taken all the pictures, run up on the parade with Ricky Craven, Tony Stewart, Ricky Rudd, I think might have been there. Um, waving to all my fellow racers. They stripped the title from me, and yeah, it was a tough time for sure. I was in Sports Illustrated. I think I even did a radio interview in California. It was big time. It was big time.
So the WSIC exclusive investigative journalism, we're going to have it next week where Bill unveils the truth. Unveils the truth of what happened in 2003 when a young man and his father were stripped of a title that they earned of world champion soapbox derby.
Wrongly
Stripped. Talk about smells, right? Hey, you cook fish in your house, it sticks to your nostrils. Epoxy, that runs deep. And so wow, we're going to get into those facts. We're going to get into those facts next week. There's some other facts going on. Have you seen, one of our friends has continuously sent us these videos of these animals in the ocean just going crazy. Have you seen these like whales and stuff that are just like coming up on people and like body slamming situations? And then now there's this newest story I saw from California. Now you've got otters stealing kids' surfboards in California. Look, and if you're heading to the beach, I'm not trying to freak you out. I don't really do the ocean too much. The ocean for me, there's just two things like that my body just doesn't get along with, sand and salt water. So the beach itself is a bit of a conundrum for me. I love the freeness of the beach, right? The having the fun, having the good time. More of a mountain man myself. Shout out App State. Another little Luke Combs plug there. But these animals are going a little berserk. And you got to wonder what's going on. What's going on? There was that documentary on Netflix about like ocean and like environment and like what's really killing the ocean. Did you see this? I can't remember what the documentary was called, but the result of the documentary was the real problem, Bill? Sushi. The fact that we eat so much sushi and the nets from us catching the fish being left in the ocean because you got to cut the line, right? And so think about how much sushi is consumed, how much fish is consumed in a single day, a single week, a single month. And the theory is now, because of sushi, that's why our ocean is dying. Because of us eating all the fish and leaving our trash by catching them. That's the real issue. It's a crazy documentary. I mean, they had some facts. They had the facts on there. I don't remember what the documentary was called, but I know I watched it. And then the other one that I've seen, did you ever watch Blackfish? Did you ever see that one? That one's like the behind the scenes of like a SeaWorld and the aquatic centers. You seen that one?
Oh, yeah.
That one was, dude, I used to want to be an oceanographer. Like that, like growing up for me, Free Willy was my favorite movie. I mean, the VHS was on repeat. Like, you'd finish and then you'd have to, you hit rewind. And you're waiting about 3 minutes before you can watch it again. But that was on repeat in the house daily. And so Blackfish was crazy with the behind the scenes of the SeaWorld stuff. And then you wonder why they pulled all the, and then you can't swim with them anymore. Not in captivity. But in the ocean, because if you watch the documentary about like in the ocean, Discovery Channel's got some cool ones. I love the ocean, like watching it and seeing it. Again, I just don't like salt water and sand. I like watching it on the TV though and learning about it. There's like killer whales have never like eaten someone in the wild. And it was like, who's the guy who directed Avatar? Cameron something?
James Cameron.
James Cameron. He was like part of this Discovery Channel documentary, I think is what it was, or through Disney or something. And he was like, they did all this footage, and there was like this moment where this orca brought a stingray as like a peace offering to the people of like, we are one. Majestic creatures. But there's videos now of these whales going crazy. They're not like eating people, but they're body slamming boats. And it's pretty wild. And now the sea otters, right? So now they're talking to each other. Now they're communicating. Hey, we'll run flank. You guys go on in as the infantry and just take all the surfboards. And so really, at the end of the day, is it sushi? Is sushi the issue here? It's a conundrum. Now I'm going to feel bad whenever I go eat sushi. Probably
we're in a pretty tough spot. I think they got us surrounded.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to feel that bad about sushi. I'm going to still eat it. I don't know. Maybe I'm a terrible human being. I don't know. Either way, Christina Bartolotta of Rise Up Cafe is going to be in studio with us. Looking forward to hearing about Rise Up Cafe in Huntersville. You're listening to Good Morning LKN 844 Studio 4. What's on your mind today? Good morning, LKN. Justin Ckezepis. With the honor and the privilege of being joined in studio now by one of the greats, Christina Bartolotta. How you doing this morning? Doing well. Now, breakfast.
Yes.
Wow. An important meal of the day.
They say the most.
They say the most. Okay, so if this is the most important meal of the day, let's get it started right. What is your favorite breakfast dish ever?
Ever. Oh, goodness. Favorite breakfast is probably chicken.
Chicken and waffles.
Yeah, I like to add an egg on.
Okay.
Mix it up a little.
Chicken, that's a bold statement.
It is full.
That might be one of my favorites. And you and your husband Titus now own Rise Up Cafe in Huntersville, off of Birkdale Commons Parkway, Birkdale Village, where?
Yeah, so Rise Cafe is across the
Yeah,
it's right beside Jimmy John's and Hickory Tavern.
yeah.
It's just kind of
So if you're going down Samford, Highway 73, that shopping center that's kind of before Birkdale if you're heading toward the highway, or if you're coming from the other side, it's just after the turn lane in. You can get to it nicely. Yeah, been there before a few times. So when did you and Titus acquire Rise Up Cafe?
So we got Rise Cafe in 2016.
Okay.
That's when we officially.
And so am I calling it? I thought it was Rise Up Cafe. Is it just Rise Cafe?
It's Rise Cafe, but you can certainly rise up. and
Because
come in.
that's what I thought. I thought it was Rise Up Cafe. And so because when I see the sign, did you guys change the logo, or are you looking at changing the logo, or what are you thinking?
So we have a new logo. It's Rise
Okay.
Cafe, and I can see how it would lead you to rise.
Yeah. Yeah. That's because you guys have done a great job already and you guys have business experience. You and Titus have wonderful business experience already, deep, heavy in the community, had a nonprofit, multiple businesses. You guys are entrepreneurs. And and so when we think about breakfast and we think about an experience of somebody coming in, people who have been to Rise Cafe before probably remember, the little bit of smokiness in the hood in there and that. And now you were just telling me though, you guys are swapping out some equipment and getting a new experience going on in there.
Yeah, so we're upgrading quite a bit of stuff. They did a great job with it. We loved that cafe, and when we went into it, it just felt like a daunting. One of the things was the smoke, though, and it's an uphill battle. But we're getting a custom thing installed. That metal should be in hopefully soon. So hopefully that.
Okay, so you're like actively doing this like right now. Like it's like you're like Sunday. So and I just saw it click. So for our fam on the video stream on WSICnews.com, Facebook.com, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, they could have seen that light bulb just go off. You're very operations and system oriented.
As that. Yeah, that's where I come from. I like processes, I like procedures, I love people, and I think we can do best by
Okay.
pivotability.
So cooking an egg and that process seems pretty straightforward, but I'm going to guess it's probably a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, it's a little complicated, and I think you can ask anyone who's been a tell you it's got a lot to do with a lot more than just making that egg.
Yeah.
We want to make it right for sure, but there's a lot that happens beforehand. We've got to control food costs, but we want quality to be there. So we hold our vendors to a very high standard, and we hold our team to a high standard. So we're hands-on training them, food temperature danger zone, the heat, how to control the environment around them, and how to move the vendors when something comes in that's just not top quality. It doesn't meet our standard. So yeah, it's time management too. There's a lot behind an egg.
Inventory control for any business has been wild since COVID. For the food industry in particular, how are you managing that these days? Is it all local or no? Is you got national vendors, a little bit of local, a little bit of both? How's that go?
Well, first we pray.
Yeah. Step one.
Yes, that's step one is we pray. And then we do as much local as humanly possible. If we can find it local, we do. Like I said, we hold them to a very high standard. We have gotten a really good relationship with we found great strengths with partners, but we also reach out to local farmers. We're building those other relationships right now.
So Rise Cafe off Highway 73, Sanford Road in Huntersville. I'm speaking with Christina Bartolotta. Can I call you? What do you call your official title there? Do you have an official title, or is culturally like, hey, we're just family?
Candidly, we don't do roles. I know that sounds silly, but if you see a business card when they come, it'll just have my name.
There you
The
go.
rest will be the same.
That's right. Rise Cafe, where everyone's family.
That's it.
What do you think? Is that a
love
pretty
it.
good?
That's just the new tagline.
Yeah. So you also though do some cooking in the restaurant, is what you were telling me as well.
You can find me most Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Why Tuesdays? Is that just the day you like to cook? Is that just it hits? Well, there's no day off for an entrepreneur, and you know that. So what would you say that you've seen to be your most popular requested dish thus far?
You know, people seem to still love that stuff and muffin. It's they just love it. It's an easy.
What do you think is the most fun dish to make that you enjoy cooking? Bacon jam. Okay, so are you process-wise? You're a process person.
That's why I love it.
Is it strawberries or what's the jam? What's in the jam?
So it depends on how I feel that day,
Sure.
frankly. But in an effort to keep, so we make very thick.
Thick cut.
I mean, it's got if it's not thick cut. So we take the thick cut bacon, we get your onions, we juice those things.
Just a dash of
Just a
coffee.
dash.
Okay, so is that the secret ingredient? Is the coffee into it, you think?
No,
Or
it's not a secret.
well, that's okay. See, this is what I found as an entrepreneur myself. You can give the playbook to 100% of people. 99.9% of them won't touch it. It'll collect dust. So you and Titus have said, no, we're going to live our life to the fullest and we're going to execute, which I love about that. That's a you can't teach that, right? Like to a degree. You've got to want it, and you guys want it. So, okay, what's Titus doing right now? Is he over there cooking at Rise Cafe as we speak, or what?
Please speak.
Okay.
But he'll be at Rice Cafe tonight, and so will I. So we're there before and after hours. I'm there almost every day. He's there probably almost every day.
What culturally do you guys want the experience to be like for people when they walk in?
I want it to feel. I don't care any of that. Really, we want.
And so, do you think at this point you guys are hitting that mark? Like, would you say culturally you guys are there, or are you always looking at something to improve?
We're always looking for shifting, right? I don't think you're ever really as long as it doesn't go against.
Tell me a little bit before we go to break about the team, because you're big on teams. You guys understand like you can't do it on your own. And so what's your thought process when you go into building a team and executing a vision and a strategy? What is that process like for you in your mind?
So we came and dined there many times. So as we were watching, obviously, and when we came in, folks were comfortable. We want to keep most of what's in place, and then after that, we make shiftings. Now they've had to deal with some candidly,
Sure.
but they're pivoting really well, and we always want to hear them. So our goal is to understand that everyone's in the trenches and everyone's got their own. We get everyone's vision and dream and align with everyone.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we look for. Consistency for the want will, because the rest can be taught. If I can get you to want it and will it, then you can learn it.
Okay, Christina Bartolotta. She's joining us one more segment. You're stick with me, right?
I'm here.
Okay,
Yeah.
Rise Cafe off Highway 73, Sanford Road. It's real close. It's real close. Good morning, LKN. We're coming right back. Good morning, LKN. Justin Ckezepis sitting next to the wonderful Christina Bartolotta, new co-owner of Rise Cafe in Huntersville, co-owner with her husband Titus, family-run business, wanting to provide an excellent food culinary experience for the taste buds first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
What are the hours for Rise Cafe if people want to go by there?
We're 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So that's an early start to the day. Well, I'm imagining the doors open at 7, but the work probably starts a little bit earlier than that. Yes. So are you there at like 3 a.m. getting things prepped and the eggs ready, or how does that typically go? Yeah.
No, we've got a pretty good process down. So we've got it set up so that we prep after and before. So really by 6 a.m., 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you think about that food and culinary experience for people, food unites people.
It does.
Regardless of belief, background, creed, motto, you sit down over a fresh plate of hot eggs and some bacon, you could get some things done in life.
We can resolve some issues, maybe end a war. We don't know.
Yeah. How important was that when you guys were looking at Rise Cafe and thinking about, okay, food? Like, was it food that drew you in, or was it the business model? Was it the financials? What was it that drew you in into wanting to buy Rise Cafe?
So we first and foremost feel like it's driven, but I think that he sets us up more. My husband and I both have culinary. Have both. It's something that just resonates. I think, right? You've got to eat to survive, but the quality of the food for us, if we can provide different levels, right?
Yeah.
So we're driven in that capacity, but also, you know, you come together like family over a meal. It's some of the best conversations. And so what we see there is people just building themselves and building their culture, building their community. And we could be a part of building community.
That's
So
amazing.
that's what drove us. The food is kind of it's the transporter.
There you go. So Rise Cafe, you can check them out on Facebook. Rise Cafe is the page, and then Rise Cafe LKN on Instagram is where you can go to check out Rise Cafe. Again, they're on Highway 73, Sanford Road in Huntersville, right in the little shopping center around Burkdale. Right around Burkdale, right there. Wonderful little spot to go in for breakfast and to have a great conversation. And the conversations that happen from the business side. So, okay, what's been the biggest shock so far for you and Titus since starting in with Rise Cafe?
There's a there are always things that unexpectedly. I'll tell you, we've had a plumber there.
Ooh, that'll get you. That'll get you.
Got us going for sure. So we uncovered quite a bit of things that just needed to be addressed. You don't know they need to be addressed.
Oh, yeah.
And there was I can tell you the vendors that we have gone above and beyond. Because for us, it was very important not to miss a day. We didn't want any employees. So we didn't want to close it for a month, get it right, and go.
Right.
So our shipping, our sign's not even up.
Yeah.
That's coming in August.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that the folks who are coming there periodically or regularly, they have this similar experience while the people who are working there don't lose out. We've got vendors coming all hours of the night. Sundays, that part's probably
How would you describe the for the food? Is it more like old fashioned breakfast, or are you guys trying to be these fancy culinary, like with the colors and the plate setup and all that?
I think flavor profile. I do believe you eat, but we're pretty old school too. So there's some classics that just they have to stay classic. So those things work, and we're gonna shift it gently.
Okay, and you meant, well, that's great. I mean, you got to have some creativity. You got to have some differentiation. So you brought up chicken and waffles. Look, chicken and waffles is probably a long term staple of. If you're going to claim chicken and waffles, tell me about the chicken, because that's also important too, right? Which maybe people don't think about chicken for breakfast too often, but when you're thinking chicken and waffles, why, it's great protein. It's good protein. Are we talking super crispy, delicious, flaky? What's kind of our style?
Yeah, super crispy, and we're keeping flavor is here.
I just drooled on the table for those that did not see that. So you put a little spice to it, you said.
Yeah, I make that syrup.
Wow. So you have a custom, like, are you going to start bottling that up and selling that? What do you think? Is that in the works?
We're giving it out. The feedback's good. So maybe let's do it.
Oh, you want to throw it out? Let's add it to the list. You know, it's okay. Okay, so we've got chicken and waffles. We've got the classic. You got the jam. What was the jam you said? Bacon jam.
Yeah.
What about that? You guys jarring that up and selling that out yet, or what?
People love it. Why not?
For now, you have to go into Rise Cafe to get this deliciousness, and you got to go there. You got to see the atmosphere. I'm excited to see kind of how the brand evolves for you guys too. You guys have a long-term mindset. You're not looking at just like flipping this thing and going about your business. How important is the local community to you and Titus?
Extremely. When we come in, we can.
And so, how long have you guys been in Huntersville
Oh,
or the Lake Norman area? We'll say.
but I grew up in the area.
Yeah.
So probably 15.
So you guys have seen some change happening here locally in the area. How has, with the different businesses and the relationships you guys have deep relationships with a lot of business owners and community leaders. How have you seen that evolve, and how are you applying that to Rise Cafe as well?
Well, so the growth and the watching the community. We just want to be a part of that. We don't want to we want to exist. Using those.
And so if you think about, we talked about culturally what you want the atmosphere to be like. How, are you like even looking at like, menus? Like are you analyzing even the layout on the menu is important, where things go and how the eyes work and how the mind works? Are you guys analyzing even to that degree?
There have been many nights.
A-
And putting things on one side of the
And so have you landed on something, or is it just like you guys like kind of, we'll just change it up every week if we had to?
menu. Well, we had the initial menu out because we wanted people to see.
Yeah.
Free menu. We'll continue to show.
Kids. I've got two.
Good.
A- And if I bring my kids to a restaurant, I'm just praying they're not going to be rowdy out of control and flipping over the chairs and throwing forks. My daughter chooses violence some days. Okay, she's 2. Oh, that's where you'd stick us. Yeah, the 2. Yeah, you guys are outside. You guys are outside. How would you describe it as a family friendly atmosphere? In the back, like working or what? Like.
It's well one. It's like can we come over here? So, but he interacts with everyone.
Wait, your son's name is Noah? My son's name is Noah.
Look at that.
That's gonna get confusing when we're gonna have to figure that out. That's gonna.
And he'll know I'm talking.
That'll be my Noah will not understand this. He's like, Daddy, what did she call me? That's so. When you think about like you guys ingraining as your family into this business, why do you feel that that's so important? Why is it just the fact that hey, our family even wants to be involved at an entire level, generational level?
We want to give our children, but we want them to see. We don't want them to think. We need to be a part of it, building, and we're going to learn things.
Is there like a breakfast restaurant convention that you guys like go to like get these cool ideas and do stuff? Or is it literally like you guys just have to come up with it and research and find it on your own?
We find it out. He's got a lot of We have been deep in food. I did some personal. This gives me
Do you get bored easily?
no, no. I wouldn't say bored.
Okay.
I like to see. Bored.
Well, you told me before off air that Titus is normally the one who does these speaking ventures, but I feel like I got the inside access right now with you, and so I'm grateful, honored, blessed to be able to sit with you here at this table. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. For our very first Food Friday, by the way. This is Good Morning LKN's very first Food Friday. Rise Cafe in Huntersville off Highway 73, Sanford Road. Rise Cafe on Facebook. That's their Facebook page. Rise Cafe LKN on Instagram. You got to taste the food. This chicken and waffles, this spicy syrup, the bacon jam. My mouth is watering. Wow. Thank you, Christina. Good morning. Good morning, LKN. 844 Studio 4. We'll see you on the other side. Good morning, LKN. It's Food Friday. We're gonna do a little treat later for Bill too. Cause it's also National Ice Cream Day on Sunday. Sunday is National Ice Cream Day. My top dessert is ice cream. I will house a gallon of ice cream and I will be unchallenged in the time I can do it in. But I'm not going to do that right now. But Bill, are you an ice cream fan?
There is always room for ice cream.
Okay. So what we're going to do, Demi should be bringing by a couple of pints. And what we're going to do is we're going to blindfold Bill later on at the end of the show. And he's going to have to try to guess the flavor. That's what we're going to do. We're going to blindfold Bill. So you're going to want to be on Facebook. You're going to want to be on the video stream, WSICnews.com, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. You're going to want to see Bill blindfolded, and he's going to have to guess the flavor of some ice cream. That's what we're going to do. And Bill, you didn't know that was going to happen, by the way.
I have a range of emotions. Overall, I think excitement is kind of taking the lead. Blindfold Bill could be.
Bill the Buffer is now blindfold Bill.
Here we go.
And that'll be your what counterpart name or something? What is that? The different character?
Right, alter ego.
Alter ego. That's what I was looking for. Thank you for that.
Right. The only thing I'm worried about, Justin, is that I feel like you're starting me soft with the ice cream, and then your next challenge will probably be a step up, and then a step up, and then another step up, and
oh, we're going straight Joe Rogan Fear Factor on this sucker. That's what we're gonna land. Big thanks to Christina Bartolotta, Rise Cafe in Huntersville off Highway 73. You're gonna want to go check it out. It's a cool spot. It's a cool breakfast spot. Delicious food. Check them out. 7 to 3. 7 to 3. That's the thing about breakfast spots. You got to get there before they close, right? Like, it's not breakfast 24 hours in a day. So you got to get there when you can. She was talking about the crispy chicken and waffles with this like special like spicy sauce she makes. That's the next plate for me there. That's gonna be the next plate. I try to at breakfast do like a little bit of healthiness with the omelets. You know, I'm trying to get better about it. I'm trying to one of the hard struggles for me is like the French fries and the hash browns. Like, it's just so good, but trying to stay away from it. But and you know they fire. They do a great job. So check them out. They're rebranding. They got the new logo signage coming and all this. It's exciting, and I always love supporting local restaurants, local businesses. We do that across the board. Joe Vagno and Local Biz Now. Every week, this dude has somebody coming on another local business. So you're going to want to watch his show Mondays at 4 o'clock. He's really the business expert. He's your guy. He's an expert in business, knows a lot of stuff about business behind the scenes. And so Joe Vagno and Local Biz Now. Check him out Mondays at 4 o'clock. He's going to be on vacay on Monday, but I'm going to get him on the morning show too. Whenever he gets back in town, coming back from somewhere tropical, super tan, he's gonna be ready to go, fired up, and I'm gonna get him on the morning show too, so he can educate us on business and how business really works. Because he's got like 100 years experience, right? Joe Vagno's been doing business for like 100 years, and so we're gonna try to pull some of that out. Bill, yesterday we may have sparked controversy yesterday. We were talking about lefties. Look, there's some hate going on in lefties in the world. It's a grind. It's a struggle. And it's shifted over the years that, like, you know, lefties have, you know, some things have had to change. I mean, my kids are both left-handed. Noah and Emmy both are. I'm not. Demi's not left-handed. We're both right-handed. My mom's right-handed. My dad was right-handed. I think Demi's parents are both right-handed. And so for us, it's been a learning curve. And I owe an apology. Because if I've ever said anything negative about lefties in the past, I'm going to go ahead and apologize. Because now I'm learning. You know, I learned by experience. I mean, we've had to buy the left-handed scissors. You know, if I think back to like Jimi Hendrix, like the story about him, like flipping the guitar over, right? Left-handed having to play the guitar like upside down. But then you start researching, there's some famous people that were left-handed. Albert Einstein was left-handed. They say like lefties are more creative. Would you agree with that, Bill? Because you're lefty.
Bias, But of course, more creative, better.
Okay, I didn't say like let's swing the pendulum like to the other side and go full on like lefties are better than righties. Like let's not do that. We're all equal. How about that, Bill? Let's focus on that.
That's fair.
LeBron James is left-handed.
LeBron James,
Oprah Winfrey is left-handed.
Wolfgang Amadeus,
Who's that?
composer.
Like, is that Wolfgang Puck?
No,
No, that's a different one.
Nikola Tesla.
Oh, there you go. Tesla, like the creator of Tesla.
No, like the inventor of many things.
Like batteries.
No, possibly.
I don't know. Well, now I'm wondering how creative lefties really are, Bill. I feel like are the lefties really that creative? If we don't have the guy who created the battery, if he was righty, then really what's
Babe
the point?
Ruth.
Babe Ruth is a pretty strong one too. There's a few lefties. Prince William's lefty. There's a few, and so look, we've got to figure this out. I think we could do a test though. There's some way we got to quantify. Is there anything, is it better to be lefty or righty? And I think that's going to apply situation to situation. Where the secret is going to be really what the end result is, and we can go and tell you what the end result is. It's better when we work together. It's better when we work together. And someone who else is like really creative and really gives the insight, Dr. Nicole Eastman. Did you hear her show last week, the L Show? Oh, man. Fridays from 3 to 4, we've got Dr. Nicole Eastman, who's a pharmacist out of Cornelius, Rose Pharmacy. Her show is called the L Show. And I was nervous last week. I learned a lot. So she's focusing on women's health. We still have Dr. Fred. Dr. Fred focusing on major health issues, natural medicine, genius. Dr. Fred, genius. Dr. Eastman, also genius. But Dr. Eastman, when I was talking to her, she said, look, we really need to address some of this women's health stuff going on. We need a platform to be able to speak about real women's health situations that occur. So she's got her series Hot Girl Summer going on. And Dr. Eastman's going to be Dr. Eastman's going to be on at 8:15 to talk about her show. And guys, it's the inside track. It's the inside track. You want to know what's going on with your lady? Dr. Eastman's show can help. We've got Hope on the phone. Hope's calling in with some facts about lefties today. Curious what Hope's got to say. Hope, how are we doing this morning? Well, it's very kind of you. Okay, so Hope just gave us the insight, and Hope, we're gonna have to go to break here. Hope just gave us the inside life hack. You can choose whether your kid will be left or right-handed. That's breaking news. Scientifically proven by Hope. You hang on, depending on the hip you put your baby on, that's going to determine. Good morning, LKN. 844 Studio 4. Dr. Eastman's up next. Good morning, LKN. Justin Ckezepis. We are rolling right through. We're at 8:18 on this Friday morning, July 14th, already halfway through the month. Trying to get as much knowledge as I can during this summer, but it's hot out there. It's hot. And someone who's spicing things up is Dr. Nicole Eastman. Inside track into the things of ladies. And I am honored to be joined by Dr. Eastman right now. Doc, how we doing this morning?
Hey, we are good. We are good. Keeping it hot, Justin. Keeping it hot.
You got a series going on right now that's hot. Hot Girl Summer.
Yes.
You're rocking and rolling.
Yes, Hot Girl Summer. We did our first installment, Characteristics of a Hot Girl. Whew, we talked about that last week. And this week, showing up again, we are talking about women grabbing testosterone by the testes. Yes, so it is going to be another great show.
Okay. Well, hold on. Now, okay. Before I thought I was like last week, I got the inside track on what's going on with ladies and how the body is shifting. Right? You talked a lot about that.
Yes.
Now, wait a second. Should we as men, should we be nervous right now with this conversation, or is this going to help us out too?
Listen, I understand that title may seem aggressive, right, to men, but just no, don't be worried. This is all about women and dispelling those myths about testosterone being only for men, being only beneficial to men. Remember, the L show is about leaning into things that we typically don't talk about. That's what the L stands for. So men should actually tune in and they can learn even more around what we started talking about last week.
And I'm leaning in. I just leaned in right now. Physically, I just leaned into this microphone because, okay, before when we chatted and you had told me, okay, this is what we're going to talk about, I said, okay, let's do this. And then like after last week, Bill the Buffer, the producer behind the scenes, we're talking and we realized this is the inside track. Like you're giving men access to what is really happening with ladies and how they think. I mean, on a relationship level right now, I mean, I feel like, hey, Dr. Eastman, between me and you, it's been a pretty good week at home. You know what I mean? Like, I've been able to have some conversations that help keep my wife happy. Mostly, now I've messed up. I've had some back steps. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, but
I can't believe that, Justin. I can't believe that at all.
Well, look, we're getting to know each other, Dr. Eastman. You're gonna learn real quick that I act a fool at home. You know, wait till you see when my kids come walking through here and start breaking things. You're gonna realize too that we're just like everybody else at the house. So what makes it so important to you to want to talk about these issues that really aren't widely discussed on a mainstream level?
You know what, Justin, what you just said. So because they're not widely discussed on a mainstream level, we have to normalize the conversations about what women maturing past that age of 40 are thinking about, what our concerns are, what our issues are, things that we cannot control, how our body fluctuates hormones. It is just a natural biological process, right? But during this process, so many things happen. We talked about last week. We had, our libido issues, vaginal issues with dryness. We talked about emotional, mental, all of that stuff. But we don't have a platform where we can talk about it openly. When we're having these girly conversations with each other, we go all out, right? And but we want to bring that to market. There's no commercials about things that are going on with women my age. There's no marketing to us. So we need somewhere we can talk about these things and be open and share. We want to normalize what has been essentially kind of pushed to the side and tabooed a bit. So that's why we're going to take that gloves off approach to having these conversations. So the L show is about leaning into those conversations. So
I'm literally visualizing like when we'll have some friends over, it's, wives sticking together in the room and they're talking and like there's no men around.
Yep.
And then I walk into the room and it's like, oh, hey, honey. And it's like, well, wait a second. Wait, the atmosphere just shifted real fast when I stepped in here.
The whole energy changes, right?
What were
The
y'all
energy
talking
changes.
about? Oh, nothing. We were just
We were
talking, you
having
know,
one of these conversations.
we were just chit chatting. We were just chit chatting. And it's
Yep.
like, if y'all are chit chatting
Exactly.
like that, we as men had no idea. No idea.
No, no, but we're going to give you insight. We're going to give you some insight. So, this show will equip you to walk into that room and have a feeling about what they were chit chatting about.
So that's my goal, right? Like that I can walk into the room and I can just
Yes.
sit down. No, it's okay. What were we talking about? Were we talking about menopause? What were we talking? Let's keep talking about it. Like, and I could just sit there naturally as part of the
Exactly.
conversation. I think her
As
friends are
part
going to
of.
be really freaked out by that if I do that. But my goal, I'm going to break through this, Dr. Eastman. You're going to help me do it.
Yes, yes, yes. Breakthrough. You're going to normalize. You're going to normalize a man being able to walk into a room with women sitting around round table and be able to sit down and get right in that conversation because you will know what they are probably 99.9% talking about.
Well, and I'm going to have to start every sentence with, Dr. Nicole Eastman taught me. That's because, like, if I just, like, act like I know this stuff from the top, it's going to get a little weird. But at least if I have a reference
Yeah,
point to say that you taught me,
there you
then
go.
it'll be
Some
hopefully ease.
credibility.
That's right. Because, I'm
Yep,
not a doctor
yep,
and you are. And so as far
yeah.
as the science side goes, how much time do you spend, like, studying new components? Or is it just once you become a doctor, like, magically you get all this information in your brain and it's more like a Rolodex? How's that work?
No, my gosh. So it is a lifelong learning. It's lifelong learning. You never stop learning. Things change. Research changes. We new discoveries. New studies come out. It is a lifelong journey. And what our job is to take what we read, what we find out, what we experience from whether or not it be research, from clinical practice. We take those things and then we apply it and we teach it, right, to our patients or clients. It's a lifelong thing, but we're here to educate and to make better. We're here to make people feel better. So
Dr.
yeah,
Eastman, thanks for chatting with me this morning. I
no
guess
problem.
another thought too. So your pharmacy is in Cornelius. It's a very nicely set up boutique pharmacy, and when you walk
Yeah,
in, look,
yeah.
I'm not a mansplainer. I'm not going to be a mansplainer. But ladies, I think you're going to like what you see when you walk in. Guys, you're going to like what you
Hmm.
see. I walked in there. I'm like, oh, this place is
Yeah,
clean. This place is done right.
yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that compliment, Justin. I happen to completely agree with you. Men, ladies, you will love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, I am located in Cornelius, right there on the corner of 1 Norman and Jaton. It's behind the McAllisters and Circle K. It's that big building. And I am Sweet B, Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary. Thank you so much, Justin, for having me on.
Of course. Well, and you traditional pharmacy, as far as if someone's got a prescription and all that, you can take care of all that
Hmm.
too. It's not just like you do a lot of natural and what herbs, homeopathics. Do you do all that stuff too? Kind of what's the lineup for you in the shop?
Yeah, so we are a primarily compounding pharmacy. So we basically make medication specific to people, specific to a client. It is nothing that is offered mainstream, nothing that you can get, nothing that's manufacturally available. We do things specific. And yes, we also do traditional dispensing as well, but very little of that, which is, your pills of, your lisinopril or whatever, but very little of that. And then we also do the natural stuff as well. So we have vitamin supplements. We do adaptogenic teas, CBD, THC. We do all of that stuff. I mean, there's just we have it all. It is like a little candy shop for everyone.
That's it. Well, if you need something, if you got something going on, Dr. Nicole Eastman, and then you can check out her show, The L Show. We're leaning into these
Yes,
conversations. That's what we're
yes,
doing
yes,
here on
yes.
WSIC, 3 o'clock, 3 to 4 o'clock. Dr. Eastman, thank you so much. Look forward to listening to you and seeing you later.
Thank you, Justin. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Dr. Eastman. Look, guys, I realize they're tough conversations. We have a lot of tough conversations on the show through our whole lineup, but this stuff, the medical stuff, is real tough. And so Dr. Eastman giving the inside track on what's going on with women is it's wild. It's eye opening. And then Dr. Fred follows it up. You see, that's the thing is we did the back to back. People were wondering, well, you got two pharmacists back to back. It's like, yeah, we do, because they offer two different perspectives. Dr. Eastman, the L Show, leaning into women's health, and then Dr. Fred with Health Talk, leaning into health issues as it relates to policy, as it relates to the scientific study of what's going on, making conscious decisions and being in control of your own life and your own health decisions. Dr. Fred goes deep. And I've had some conversations with him, obviously, on mic and off mic. Plethora of knowledge. I mean, a lot of times this is what happens with Dr. Fred. Like, he'll talk about a concept, and everyone's like, I don't know about that. I don't know. That seems a little outlandish. Like 6 months later on the mainstream media, they're then talking about the components that Dr. Fred is talking about. So Dr. Fred, I'm going to have him join next week on the morning show so we can get a little inside track into his brain too. But you definitely want that back to back. If you're looking for some health conversations.
We're going to have to start calling Fridays with a PH. Some pharmaceutical Fridays.
Ooh, so like, and then mix it up with some food. So it's kind of like a little bit of a combo going on there. Fridays are going to get busy in here. Fridays are going to get busy. You got a lot going on before the weekend. What's going on for your weekend? 844-STUDIO-4. If you got something fun planned. Remember, you got that community calendar. WSICnews.com. You can submit your event. Post it there. It's free. Anybody. Bring it out there. WSICnews.com. Good morning, LKN. Coming up on the last half hour of the show before the weekend. It's been a fun ride. We'll see you soon. Good morning, LKN. Justin Ckezepis. You know, I told you Joe Berg had the inside track, and if you didn't have a chance to catch his show this week yet, you're missing out on an opportunity. Joe, why don't you go ahead and share with the folks the factual information you've got proving that the NBA draft and the lottery for who gets to pick first, how it's rigged?
I have no such information. I don't know what you're doing on your show telling people that I have proof that the NBA is rigged. I have no such proof.
Whoa. That's not. Tell the people what you told me, Joe. That's not what you told me.
I said that if people did think it was rigged, the reason that they would think it was rigged would be the NBA draft. It's a lottery, and the worst team in the league has the best odds to get the number one pick, and the first team that missed the playoffs has the worst odds to get the number one pick, and that's done behind closed doors. So that's where people think, oh, maybe they're, sending the number one overall pick wherever the NBA wants instead of doing a real fair lottery.
Okay, so to be fair, I have to maintain my journalistic integrity. I'm going to issue a editorial comment that I was incorrect in my headline, and I need to correct it now. Joe Berg has proof that the NBA lottery is a Ponzi. Is that better? Is that the better way to think about it?
I think whichever way you want to put it is the way that we're going to go with it now.
I guess I could just declare whatever it's going to be.
It seems like it.
Well, look, people want to know the truth about sports, right? And so for sports for you right now, what's been this time of year? What do you think the biggest focus is in the sports world?
Oh, man. See, it's weird because late July and early August are the slowest times for the sports news cycle. So right now, if you're not paying attention to the MLB, maybe you're paying attention to Wimbledon. But other than that, unless you're a hardcore football fan and you're following every single development from training camp, from OTAs, there's really not too much to sink your teeth into here.
So sports is boring? Is that the headline right now?
I don't think that's the headline. I think the headline is that we're getting ramped up here. We just passed what is the slowest part of the sports year, which is the MLB All-Star break. Once you get on the other side of the MLB All-Star break, at least you got the trade deadline heating up in baseball. You're coming down to the end of the season, so playoffs are going to be heating up soon. And then once we get to September, we're in football season, we're in basketball season again, we're in hockey season again. So it's about to ramp up real fast.
Does your girlfriend get frustrated with you with how much you talk about sports?
I don't think so. The good news is she does like football and hockey being my favorite, that's a massive plus. So I could just talk about hockey whenever I want. The bad news is she's a fan of Buffalo teams, so I can't really talk about them being the greatest teams in the world.
Is that because you disagree with her or you agree with her?
Well, so the Buffalo Sabres, the hockey team, hasn't been to the playoffs since the year 1999 or something like that. And we all know the struggles of the Buffalo Bills. They lost 4 consecutive Super Bowls before I was even thought, and they missed the playoffs for 13 years in a row. But the past 5 years, they've at least been making the playoffs.
Well, the Bills had a kind of rough year this year, a little interesting year. Look, you were talking about the ESPYs last night. You were talking about what was going on and with the Bills. Give us the highlight of the ESPYs.
Yeah, so probably the biggest tearjerker from the ESPYs was when they handed out the Pat Tillman Award, and it was Damar Hamlin from the Bills who handed out the award. Now, if you remember, it was like week 15. It was late in the year, just past the new year. Damar Hamlin was hit in the chest, and his heart stopped on the field. The doctors brought him back. He's now practicing with the team. He's probably going to play this year. But that award for the Pat Tillman Service Award went to the entire Buffalo Bills medical staff. And they brought everybody out on the stage, and it was a real emotional moment. Damar Hamlin was sobbing on stage into people's arms. It was a real nice moment during the ESPYS.
I watch the Panthers. I don't watch a lot of other football. I'll put it on in the background, but I don't follow. I don't religiously watch all the games. That was a Sunday or Monday night game when that happened, and I know that because I happened to be watching that game. It was late, and I had the TV on to fall asleep to, and then all of a sudden that play happens. I mean. Look, is the sentiment in the NFL now like, okay, we're going to consider this a one-off, or is it, some things are going to be changing based on what happened?
I think they're going to be saying it as a one-off. Now, the good news is they do have all the equipment needed to deal with that. They have people who are CPR certified, obviously, and they have AEDs or whatever they're called for your chest. I forget the name of them exactly.
Like defibrillators and
defibrillators. So they have those on the sideline already. If anything, I would just think that the NFL is going to make sure that all of that technology is up to date and working before every single game, just to make sure, just in case we have this 1 in a million thing happen again, they're going to be just as prepared as the first time.
Who you got winning the race this weekend?
I think Chase Elliott's going to get the win this weekend, only because he absolutely needs to get a win in the next couple of races. Now, we remember he missed a lot of time because of that broken leg from skiing, so he's not currently in the playoffs. He can make it on points, but it's a real uphill battle. I think Chase Elliott's going to get it done this weekend.
Wow. Okay, Chase Elliott, he called it. Bill, you didn't have a pick yet, did you? You didn't have a pick for the race. What do you think? Critique Joe on his pick for Chase Elliott. How you feel?
Joe's spot on. I'm gonna go with the expert here.
All right, there you go. You've got an endorsement from Bill on your pick there, Joe. So we'll see. We're gonna find out on Monday when we chat with you. What's going on? What about Charlotte FC? Are they? Luke Combs is here in Charlotte, so is Charlotte FC away or?
Yep, Charlotte is actually not in the United States anymore. They're in Canada playing Montreal.
Hey.
Oh yes.
Hey, you ever been to Canada?
No, I have not. I haven't even been close. I think upstate New York is about the closest I've ever been.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Canada once. Demi and I went to Niagara Falls, the Canada side. And
nice.
Plum sauce. You ever had plum sauce?
I have not had plum sauce.
It's basically the Canadians' version of ketchup. And,
yeah.
And I could be wrong on my top-notch journalism there as far as what they actually consider it. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. And then they do, I can't remember, I don't know why the name is so mine, but basically like they do like French fries with like gravy and like cheese curds pile on top.
Poutine?
Poutine. That's what it is. Poutine. Bill knows. Poutine. You ever had poutine before?
I haven't. I'm wondering if our buddy Pat has.
Oh,
my favorite is poutine. I find it just a horrible day if I can have a day without experiencing poutine.
So Pat will make you a fresh home batch of poutine. Pat, do you make your own poutine at home or Miss Sandra, or how does that work?
We buy it frozen.
Costco status? Costco status?
Stouffer's has a brand.
Pat Shannon joining us.
If you've never tried Stouffer's poutine, you have never experienced it. It's amazing.
You're not living life if you haven't had Stouffer's poutine.
4 minutes in the microwave, 50% power, you got poutine.
There you go. Mr. Pat Shannon himself, the legend. You can catch him at 9 o'clock for the home ad show. You got to buy, you got to sell, you want to trade. Maybe you got an event going on. Did you lose something? Did you find something? You got a birthday, you got an anniversary. Pat gives out prizes every day. And then Mr. Joe Berg, sports director for WSIC, you can catch his show weekdays from 6 to 7 p.m., The Scoreboard with Joe Berg, where he breaks down the analytics, proving that the NBA lottery draft is, in fact, a Ponzi. And he can do that factually because I told him to do it. And
Justin?
Yes, sir.
You have to jump in there anytime, when Justin gets going. Is it going to be possible for people to email Home Ad this morning? Because I've just discovered with Frank that our email has been moved.
I'm fixing that. That's what I'm doing on break right now. Good morning, LKN, 844 Studio 4. Good morning, LKN. Justin Ckezepis. Yeah, technology-wise, obviously, we're changing over a lot of stuff. If you're a faithful listener here at WSIC, we appreciate you still sticking around. The email does work. You can send email to homead@wsicnews.com still for Pat that we were talking about. Pat just can't see what you're sending just yet until I reload his inbox for him on his side, which I'm going to hop on and do that as soon as our show is over. And it's Friday, and a tradition we're adding every day is our word of the day. And this is where Bill gives me a gives me a word, and I have to guess the definition. I can get clues, the type of word it is. Maybe it's an adverb. Maybe it's a noun. And then I can also get it in a sentence from Bill because I need some context clues. So, Bill, what's the word of the day?
Word of the day, word of the day. Today's word is lambent. Lambent. Lambunt. Lambunt.
Lambent. Lambent, lambunt.
Lambunt. I'm looking at the pronunciation there. Lamb, hard lamb, bunt.
And it's a noun, so it's a person, place, or thing. Okay, give it to me in a sentence, please, sir.
Oh, excuse me. It's actually an adjective.
Oh, it's
So
an
that's
adjective.
This is actually here to throw you off.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, jot that down. Adjective.
Okay.
Apologies.
So adjectives they describe something, I think is what an adjective is?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
This is an adjective.
Okay, it's an adjective. Lambent.
Lambent. Would you like to hear it in a sentence?
If I could, please, sir.
Sitting around the campfire, we were mesmerized by the lambent flames dancing into the night.
The lambent flames dancing into the night with the lambent flames. Beautiful, lively, big.
Yes, that's warm. That's warm.
Okay.
That's warm. As a writer, she is known for the lambent wit with which she deftly and amusingly describes the absurdities of modern life. I wrote that one myself.
The lambent. Okay, so it's lively. It's illustrious. I'm going to go with illustrious.
We're close.
Okay, we're not far. Now we're within percentages.
Lambent. Lambent. Sitting around the campfire, we were mesmerized by the lambent flames dancing into the night. Would you like the definition?
I think I'm going to need it at this point.
Lambent. Adjective, not a noun.
Not a noun,
That's
an adjective.
on me.
No.
Lambent. When used literally, lambent can mean softly, bright, or radiant, or flickering. Lambent is often used to describe speech, writing, music, and even wine that has a light, appealing quality. Lambent.
If you would allow me to be loquacious for a moment, I could describe for you
Have at it, my kith.
that when I'm with my kith, regardless whether here or elsewhither, I enjoy the lambent conversation and rectitudeness.
Wow. I am impressed. Cue the applause.
There it is. If I had it on the punch button, I'd hit it. There you go. That is a week's worth of words of the day there, people. So let's recap. We had kith. We started the entire word of the day concept on with kith. That forever goes into the history books right there. Kith was our very first word. Friendship, friends, people that we care and want to spend time with. Elsewhither. That was the other word we had. Somewhere else, elsewhither. Loquacious when you talkative, a run-on sentence, if you would, which I commonly do. Yeah, that's right. Rectitude, which was living your best life, I think is the way I describe that one.
Right, a morally just and straight life.
There you go. And then lambent, which radiant.
Softly bright or radiant or flickering.
There you go. Word of the day. Word of the day. That's not bad. That's not bad for our first week of word of the day. We're going to keep that going.
I'm very proud of you for that one.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, I had to give it a shot there and try to figure out, hey, can we actually, put this all together? It helped with a word like loquacious being involved for the week because then it just allowed me to ramble. But when I don't have a word that means I can talk forever, I'm going to have to figure out a way to surmise and shorten that sentence.
And if any of our listeners have a suggestion for word of the day, feel free to call the studio.
Yeah.
844-STUDIO-4.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes left. Big week next week. So we're going to have an interview next week. We're going to start pulling in some people from, we're going to keep our local folks for sure, but we want to provide you also some national information. So on Monday, the Department of Veteran Affairs National Press Secretary Terrence Hayes is going to be on Good Morning LKN, 7:30 to 8. We're going to be talking about new veteran benefits related to burn pits. And so there's a few things, few information, few of the benefits out there that have changed with the VA. And so we're going to have the Department of Veteran Affairs National Press Secretary Terrence Hayes on the phone with us to talk about these new benefits and these new programs that are out there. Going to be an interesting conversation to learn. I'm not a veteran, but we have a large veteran community locally, and we love to support them. So we want to get that information out there. So tell all the veterans you're going to want to listen Monday morning, 7:30 to 8. We're going to have Department of Veteran Affairs National Press Secretary Terrence Hayes on Good Morning LKN. And then the lineups continue. Bill, you've got some vacations going on, not next week, but the following. You're going to the beach.
I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the beach.
Yeah. So at some point, we're going to see what I may be on Bill's side of the glass, running the board and doing the show. Maybe we're talking about that and seeing how that's going to work out. So, Bill, without you there running the sticks, it may not be here by the time you get back. I'm just going to throw that out to you. We'll find out. But
no, you got this. You guys, you're a smart guy.
Pat Shannon coming up. You heard from him. He's ready. He's locked and loaded, ready to go there in Studio A. So if you got something to buy, something to sell, something to trade, give him a call. You got an event in the community. He loves showcasing the events of the community as well. As we talked about, you can submit those on WSICnews.com. And there's plenty to do. There's plenty to do for the weekend. What are you doing for the weekend? You got to stay safe. Keep your eyes on a swivel, right, when you're out there. Enjoy the time with your family. And that's something definitely to do. I was expecting to see Demi this morning in the studio because I did tease earlier that we were going to do this for our first Food Friday, like a taste test where Bill was going to have to guess what ice cream. But here's what happened. Here's what happened. I think I left the freezer door open. I think I may have left the freezer door open because the ice cream was melted and the condensation was flowing from the freezer this morning, is what it sounds like in the homestead. And so we're not going to have that ice cream taste test today, Bill. We're going to have to save that for next week. But so Sunday is National Ice Cream Day. So Sunday's the day if you have been. Maybe you're saving it, for a cheat day.
For those who observe.
For those who observe, Sunday is National Ice Cream Day. There's a lot of options with ice cream now at this point. I like gelato, and then you got like this natural stuff, and you got more creamy, I mean, it isn't basically ice cream just cream. I'm pretty sure it's like 96% cream. But it's creamier, they say now. And so as we have this Food Friday where we had Christina Bartolotta, Rise Cafe in Huntersville breakfast spot. They're the new owners there off Highway 73, Sanford Road in Huntersville near Birkdale. You're going to want to go check them out. It's delicious food. So if you're on the south side of the lake, you're going to want to go by there 7 to 3. And you can check them out, Rise Cafe on Facebook. That's their Facebook page. Rise Cafe LKN is their Instagram. We are going to post on the Facebook just the singular clip for you of the interview with them. We got into more than just food with Christina. She is the analytical side of the business. Now, her and Titus worked together on it, but Christina was definitely that analytical side of processes and systems and making sure the experience you have when you go in. See, when we go into these businesses, when we go into these restaurants, we think it's just there. Like there's nothing to have to do. It's just all set up magically, right? But no, there are people, there are processes, there are systems in place that help get things done. And so they are doing a good job. Love the food. When I go in there, I'm going to try that chicken and waffles. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Justin, I'm sorry to interject. I just found this
Oh,
bandana.
uh-oh.
For those watching on live stream, is this what you were going to cover my face with?
Yeah, so I did bring a bandana, and I was going to blindfold you. Yeah, so if you're on the video stream right now, you can see Bill for sample purposes. Bill is putting the live stream. Can you see through that, Bill, or is it covered? Is it pretty?
No, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
This
and
is
it's
good.
comfort.
This is how I usually run the sticks anyway. So
Yeah. Just running blind. I wasn't sure, like, it's not like a one size fits all, so it's kind of like was a guess of like hopefully someone's dome piece isn't too big to be able to tie it around. But I figure you could tuck it behind the ear under the headphones like
I
you
was
were
just
doing
wondering
there.
why you had this, and now it's all coming together.
Yeah, we're not repping colors here. We support all. But no, that was the bandana that I was just gonna randomly like tie around your face real quick whenever we were gonna do the ice cream test. Probably would have been a little awkward to do that just without letting you know that. So that's on me. That's my bad. I probably should give that forewarning. We probably shouldn't just blindfold random people that come in without explaining to them what to do. Now, I did say eventually we're going to land on Joe Rogan Fear Factor status with this food stuff. So it's been a Friday. Good morning, LKN. We appreciate you joining us today. Hope you have a great weekend. I love you, my kith. We'll see you on Monday.